welcome to the Beauty Dish, and welcome to the third installment of the Foundation Files. If this is your first time watching the Foundation Files, I just review a foundation and I do a demo for you so you can see how it goes on. And the whole thing about it is that I love foundation. I love all the new formulas and the technology that they use, and I love trying them. And for a lot of these videos, I go and I get the little samples from Sephora when, you know, they match me and everything, so I don't always have a full size. But I try it out at least 3 times before I do the demo in the video, so it's not a first impression. I feel that I have time to form a good opinion and try it a few different ways and do a review for you. So today I am talking about the Smashbox Liquid Halo HD Foundation. I almost said Halo Hydrating Perfecting Powder because Smashbox also makes a powder that I have had for a few years that I've been a fan of, and it comes in shades and it provides light coverage and it's hydrating, and it's called their Halo Hydrating Perfecting Powder. So, segue to the foundation. I expected to love this foundation. I saw the ads when it first came out and I was really excited to get my hands on it. So when I finally got a sample, I put it on right away when I got home, and I expected it to be hydrating, even though that is not one of its claims. I kind of expected that going along with the powder, and I expected it to be just luminous. You know, it's supposed to be an HD foundation and light and dewy and lovely. It wasn't quite that. Okay, going straight from the Sephora website, Smashbox says this is a foundation with light responsive technology for an even luminous finish. So it also says that it's oil-free and it builds from sheer to medium coverage. I agree with the sheer to medium coverage part. That's great. I don't agree with the luminous finish, and I'm going to go right into the demo and I'm going to show you what it looks like. And I mean, I'm wearing it right now, so this is it, but I've got a little powder on. I'll tell you about that. But I'll show you the demo and then we'll talk some more. So here goes. Hello. Okay, it is time for some Smashbox Liquid Halo action on my face. And I'll probably use a combo of fingers and brushes or brush to blend this in. And this is shade number 3. I was kind of close. I was somewhere between 2 and 3, but I like 3 better. 2 can work, it's just a little too pale. Okay, I'm going to start buffing it in with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And I have no primer anywhere, I just have moisturizer and sunscreen as always. It's pretty easy to buff in. It feels fairly light while it applies. It starts to set fairly quickly. I find that this foundation really brings out any bits of dryness, kind of flaking skin that I might have on my face. Like, I can't see that I have flaky patches, but then I put this foundation on, like here, and the flaky patches are kind of brought into focus. So I don't really like that. I don't find that other foundations like the Marc Jacobs Genius Gel or the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, I don't find that they do that. So that's definitely a downfall of this foundation. I can see it in my pores, kind of here, and I don't notice these pores otherwise with other foundations or when I don't have anything on my skin at all. Okay, this is a pretty light layer. I mean, you saw what I put on my face. I didn't add any more. It kind of camouflaged the redness under my eyes, and it evens things out, but it doesn't really cover, you know, the freckles and the sunspots that I have. I could build this up. Why don't I build it up for you? So you can see, like here, definitely redness and some sunspots. Let's see if we can build it up. I don't find, the times that I've tried it, 3-4 times now, 4 times, it's not that easy to build because of the way it sort of clings on pores and flaky skin. Okay, so with that second layer, I still can see the redness that I have here, and I can definitely see, you know, my sunspot freckle things that I have. And it's not hard to blend in, but once you've got it on, you really have to look over every kind of square inch of your skin and make sure that you're working it in so that you don't see it settled into pores or lines or dry patches. So in that sense, I think it's a little high maintenance to apply because of the way it does kind of cling to the imperfections or the unevenness on your skin. And I guess, you know, Smashbox is so well known for primers, maybe putting it over one of their primers would improve that situation, but I don't think that that should be a requirement of any foundation. Okay, so here I am as close as I trust myself to be and have this camera work. So I'm not sure if you can see it in my pores. That's probably my biggest complaint, and the dry patches. So I think if you have dry skin that tends to be a little flaky like I do, you're definitely going to want to test this out before you buy and see what you really think of it. But those are my two biggest gripes, and there you have it. I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup and come back and chat some more about the Smashbox Liquid Halo. So that was the foundation going on. To finish off my face, I just used a little of my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in dim light. I put a lot of it right here on my nose, a little bit here, and a little bit on my cheeks. I used a little of the Hourglass highlighter here and a little bit of the bronzer here, very lightly. I used Orgasm blush, and then of course I did my eyes and my brows and my lips. So that's what I have going on additionally. So the texture of this foundation, as you could see, is pretty light. It's a nice light, you know, liquidy texture, but not too watery, and it does go on the face pretty easily. I do like using that foundation brush for it, and then of course, as I said in the demo, patting it on with my fingers. So I like how it goes on. I think sheer to medium coverage is accurate. That first layer is quite sheer, but it does build easily. Now, as I pointed out, no matter if you go for that sheer layer or a little more coverage, it's still going to stick to dry patches and sink into pores. At least that is the experience that I had every single time I wore it. The thing that surprised me most about this foundation, and well, one of the big reasons I don't like it, is the finish. I guess HD foundations they aim for a natural skin-like finish, not a glossy, luminous, I don't know, it says it's luminous, but to be an HD foundation, it needs to look like skin. I think of the Makeup Forever HD foundation, and I feel that the finish is kind of similar. To me, on my dry skin, I would call it a satin matte. On someone with more normal to oily skin, you might call it a natural finish. As I also said in the demo, it really seems to sink into pores and enhance pores, especially just on the flat planes of my face where I don't ever have really a problem with pores. Like, I can look in the mirror, I just looked in the mirror right now, and I can sort of see it, and that's what we wear foundation to sort of hide and smooth over, so I am really not a fan of that. And I taped that demo about 2 hours ago, and I had to, you know, obviously finish my makeup, and then I stopped and I ate lunch. And the entire time, every time I look in the mirror, the foundation has sunk into these little smile lines right here, and I have to, you know, rub it out, but it keeps on sinking back in, which is pretty amazing because I didn't put on a huge heavy coat of it. So the wear, let's talk about the wear. As I said, it does seem to sink into lines. I don't like that one bit. The last time I wore it, I put it on around 1 p.m. and I looked in the mirror later in the day, it was around 6, and it had just sunk into my pores right around here, and I could just see it. You know, I wasn't even trying to examine my face, I was just kind of glancing in the mirror, and there was this foundation. I don't think it wears well. I think within a few hours you're kind of seeing it not shift, not melt away so much, but, well, it does sort of fade away, and it settles into your imperfections, and as I said, it doesn't promise to be hydrating, but I would actually go so far as to say that it is drying. As I wear it, a few hours in, I can feel my face getting harder. You know, you get that hard, set, cracking feeling. All you dry skin ladies, you know what I'm talking about, and in the winter months, it's even more intense. But that's what I get with this foundation, so much more than any of the other foundations that I really like for dry skin, like the True Match Lumi, like the Marc Jacobs. Okay, so let's sum things up. The Smashbox Liquid Halo costs $42 for an ounce of product. It comes in a little glass bottle with a pump. Actually, I'm not positive that it's glass. It could be plastic, I am not sure, but it is a pump bottle. It comes in 10 shades. As I said, I am shade 3, and that is actually, they call it light beige for light complexions. So if you consider me light, I don't know, I wear shade 3, so I guess it's a positive that they do have darker shades, 7 shades darker than mine. It also does have SPF 15, but, you know, and I guess, let's say you do have oily skin, if I can't get good wear time out of this foundation, I don't know how anyone else will. And as I said in my demo, I get the sense that you really need a primer under there, and I don't want a foundation that requires a primer. So that's my final say on that. Let me know if you've tried this and if you've had different experience or the same experience. I would really love to hear from you. I'm really kind of perplexed by this foundation because, like I told you, I went in expecting to love it, and the first time I put it on my face, just the finish, sort of the dry kind of satin matte finish, really threw me off, and I kept trying it and nothing really changed. So that's the Smashbox Liquid Halo. I hope you found this video entertaining and insightful and informative, and I'll link to my other Foundation Files videos in the info box if you want to check those out. This was my first kind of bad foundation review that I've done so far. So yeah, check those out if you're interested, and thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.